This is the story of Peter and the Wolf. The characters in this story will be represented by the different instruments in the orchestra. The flute is the bird. The oboe is the duck. The clarinet is the cat. And the grandfather will be played by the bassoon. And the scary, smelly, dirty, nasty gray wolf will be played by the French horn. Peter will be played by the strings of the orchestra. The hunters and their rifle shots will be represented by the timpani and the big bass drum. Now, sit back and relax and let us begin the story of Peter and the Wolf. Early one morning, Peter opened the gate and went out into the big green meadow next to his house. On the branch of a big tree sat a little bird. It was Peter's friend. All is quiet, chirped the bird gaily. Yes, all was quiet in the big green meadow. Just then, a duck came waddling around. She was glad that Peter had not closed the gate and decided to take a swim in the deep pond in the meadow. Seeing the duck, the little bird flew down to the grass and settled right next to her and shrugged his shoulders. "What kind of bird are you if you can't fly?" said the bird. To this the duck replied, "Well, what kind of bird are you if you can't swim?" and dived deep into the pond. Well, they argued and argued with the duck swimming in the pond and the little bird hopping along the shore. Suddenly, something caught Peter's attention. Well, it was the cat crawling through the grass. The cat thought to himself, "The bird is busy arguing. I'll just grab him." Stealthily, the cat stepped towards him on her velvet paws. "Look out!" shouted Peter to the bird, and immediately flew up the tree. While the duck swam as fast as she could to the middle of the pond, where the cat couldn't touch her, and quacked at the cat with all her might. But the cat was more interested in the bird. The cat crawled around the tree and thought, "Is it worth climbing so high? By the time I get there, the bird would have flown away." Just then, Grandfather came out, and he was very angry because Peter had gone into the meadow. "This is a dangerous place. If the wolf should come out of the forest, then what would you do?" But Peter paid no attention to his grandfather's words. You see, boys like Peter aren't afraid of wolves. But grandfather took Peter by the hand, locked the gate, and led him straight home. No sooner had Peter gone than a big gray wolf came out of the forest. In a twinkling, the cat scurried up the tree. The duck quacked and in her excitement jumped out of the pond. But no matter how hard the duck tried to run, she couldn't escape the wolf. He got nearer, and he was getting nearer and nearer, and catching up with her, he got her, and with one swallowed her. And now, this is how things stood. The cat was sitting on one branch, and the bird sitting on another branch, but not too close to the cat. And the wolf walked around and around the tree, and he was looking up at them with hungry eyes. In the meantime, Peter, without the slightest fear, stood behind the gate, watching all that was going on. Peter ran home and got a strong rope and climbed up the high stone wall. One of the branches of the tree around which the wolf was walking stretched out over the wall. Grabbing hold of the branch, Peter lightly climbed over onto the tree. Peter said to the bird, "Fly down and circle around the wolf's head. Only take care that he doesn't catch you." The bird almost touched the wolf's head with her wings, while the wolf snapped angrily at her from every direction. Oh, how that bird teased the wolf so, and how the wolf just wanted to catch him. But the bird was clever, and the wolf simply couldn't do anything about it. Meanwhile, Peter made a lasso and carefully letting it down and down and down. Caught the wolf by the tail and pulled with all his might. Feeling himself caught, the wolf began to jump wildly, trying to get loose. But Peter tied the other end of the rope to the branch. and the wolf's jumping only made the rope tighter around his tail. Just then, some hunters came out of the woods. They had been following the wolf's trail and shooting as they went. But Peter, sitting in the tree, said, "Don't shoot! Bertie and I have already caught the wolf. Now help us take him to the zoo." And now, just imagine the triumphant procession. With Peter at the head, and after him, the hunters leading the wolf. And winding up the whole procession is Grandfather and the cat. Grandfather shook his head discontentedly and said, "Well, if Peter hadn't caught the wolf, what then?" And above them flew little Birdie, chirping merrily. "My, what brave fellows we are, Peter and I. Look what we've caught." And if one would listen carefully, he would hear the duck quacking inside the wolf, because the wolf in his hurry had swallowed the duck alive.